What's going on, Kraken fans?
Putting everything aside in terms of what's Seattle going to look like, are they going to make the playoffs? How does this impact the Penguins? Are other teams in the division passing the Penguins? Are the Penguins getting worse? I just want to say it sucks to lose both McCann and Tanev, not only as players that are on your favorite team, but as just players that you root for. Tanev and McCann were two of my favorite players on the Penguins, and that sucks because they're not on the team anymore. Like, it's outside of the analytics and how many points did they score and how does their contracts look. It just doesn't, it's not fun when you lose two guys that you really liked rooting for. It's not as bad as Phil Kessel, or Marc-Andre Fleury, but it still kind of sucks. And like when you see Brandon Tanev in another jersey, it sucks. And Jared McCann's going to light it up. They're both going to have so much success. I just wanted to put that out there because before we even get into this, it just sucks losing them. Quick side note, I may have been the first ever person to receive an autograph from Brandon Tanev in Pittsburgh. I don't know if I am. There's no way to tell. But it was training camp, his first year here, right after he signed that, so 2019. And me and my buddies were first in line, to get autographed from him. And, I was the first one, so it's on my jersey right now. Brandon Tanev signature is, I guess, outdated. I mean, am I going to not want these signatures on my jersey? No, but it still sucks, and it's kind of a painful reminder that the man that drew on this jersey is no longer in Pittsburgh, alongside Patrick Hornquist, Joseph Blandisi, Matt Murray, Alex Galchenyuk, Eric Gabranson, and Nick Bukestad. Anyways, Seattle is officially Kraken. That was a terrible pun, but they have a team, and it's not very good. But we said that about Vegas. And trades are going to open up tomorrow, and this is not the end. The draft is this weekend, so we'd be flipping out about that on a normal season. Things are going to happen. The Penguins better do something. The Penguins have $7 million in cap space right now, freed up. So I'm not going to go over the entirety of the board because I feel like that would take too much time, and there's countless other places where you can see, the analytical stuff on what's Seattle going to look like. Are they going to make the playoffs? The Pacific Division's weak. Could they make the playoffs? Who's going to start on this team? I just threw them up on the board, for those of you that need a refresher. I'm sure most of you even saw the leaks because, Frank Cervelli was going on a tweet storm. And for those of you that were complaining about it, boo-hoo, you can log off Twitter if you don't want to be spoiled. I think Jared McCann might be a monster on this team. I do, because I think he could be like their William Karlsson. Yanni Gourde could be turn into even more of a stud as well. And Chris Strieger may surprise a lot of people as well. A lot of young players here. I don't think Ron Francis is looking to make a Stanley Cup Finals run in his first year like Vegas was. Not that Vegas necessarily was in the first place as well, but a lot of young players here. Jordan Eberle's 31. And Mark Giordano's 37. Other than that, every other player on this team is under 30 years old. Giordano's complete outlier. He's 37. He's, makes the most money on the team as well at 6.75. But other than that, they have a lot of cheap contracts, a lot of pending RFAs, and I don't really see them making the playoffs right now. But guys, it's still the off season. The trade freeze is still currently, in play. Once it hits 1 p.m. tomorrow, things are going to explode. And I hope the Penguins do something because, the draft is approaching. The Penguins have already picks and, oh, my God, whatever. But anyways, I do want to mention, if I have any Kraken fans watching this, I do want to mention the 3 Penguin players that you guys have, or former Penguin players that you guys have. Jamie Oleksiak, Jared McCann, and Brandon Tanev. And it sucks that the Penguins pretty much lost 2 guys to this expansion. Would you guys rather have Brandon Tanev and Jared McCann on your team and then trade away like a pick so that they take Pettersson? Or would you rather have neither of them on your team and Philip Hollander in a 7th rounder? Or would you rather have would you rather have one of Jared McCann or Brandon Tanev on your team and never even make that deal with Toronto? It just sucks. I mentioned I love both of those guys. Okay, outside of what they look like on the ice, they're fun to watch. They're fan favorites. But the three players, we'll start with Jamie Oleksiak. He was traded from Dallas to Pittsburgh for a 4th-round pick, and then like a year later, they just made that same trade again, and the Penguins got the 4th-round pick, and Dallas got Oleksiak back. So interesting. Oleksiak can hit. He can fight. He's huge. I don't like the contract that you just signed him to, Kraken fans. $4.6 million for I think it was 4 or 5 years. He's not really worth that, in my opinion. In my eyes, he's like a bottom pairing defenseman, but, looks like Larson and Oleksiak are going to be the D core, at least to start, for the Seattle Kraken. Not sure if I like it, but Oleksiak is also a great dude. He was a fan favorite here in Pittsburgh in a short amount of time. Speaking of fan favorites, Brandon Tanev is an absolute monster. Having him and Oleksiak on the same team is going to be so much fun. He's not really a fighter, Brandon Tanev is, but he's definitely an agitator. He's a very clean player despite the way that he plays. He's fast. He's so fast. Call him Turbo. That's his nickname. He drinks a Red Bull before every game, at least one. I don't know how many he does per game, but he's a monster, and I love it. And I'm going to miss him. His contract's not the best, yes, but neither is Oleksiak's, as we just mentioned. Tanev you'll fall in love with him immediately. That's all I have to say. Buy a Brandon Tanev Kraken jersey because he's, got some term there, and you're going to fall in love with him. Just trust me. He doesn't score that much, but when he does, they're huge goals. Jared McCann. He will score a lot for you guys, especially given the fact that he will spend a lot of time on probably the first power play unit for this team. He has turned into a power play specialist after last season, and he has an amazing shot. He's not very sizey, but where he lacks in size, he has a good. He's very good on his feet. He's a good skater. He's speedy, and he just needs the right shot. That's all I've said about McCann for the past 3 years now. Is he just needs the right opportunity. And I hope this is his last team in the NHL. I really hope he retires in Seattle because he's been traded 4 times now, or he's been switched from teams. Let's see. He was drafted Vancouver, then he went to Florida, then he went to Pittsburgh, and then he kind of went to Toronto technically, and now he's in Seattle. So 5 teams. The dude's only 25. Take care of him. I really hope he can shine there, and I hope he can be the next William Karlsson, emerging player. So, again, I'm not going to really go in depth on what I think about Seattle because this is not a Seattle Kraken YouTube channel. So again, I'm not really going to go in depth on what I think Seattle will do, what they'll look like, because this isn't a Seattle Kraken YouTube channel. It's a Pittsburgh Penguins YouTube channel. So I wanted to address, Tanev getting moved on, McCann getting moved on, and the fact that Oleksiak's on this team as well. So I'm definitely a Kraken fan now because 2 of my favorite players are on that team now, my current favorite players. But I root for the Pittsburgh Penguins logo and the Pittsburgh Penguins organization. I root for the logo, not the the name on the back. I don't care if Alex Ovechkin becomes a Penguin, which he will. I'll still cheer for this team. So.
All right, now what? Just look on Cap Friendly now. I mean, yeah, people are happy with the cap space that, has been freed up with Tanev and McCann moving out, but who's going to play wing on this team? I'm not going to do an armchair GM. Well, I am doing an armchair GM, but I'm not going to go in depth with this. I just wanted to look to see where the team is right now. Pedersen might get moved on. I really hope he does. 4 years still left, and we need to move on from Jari. Guys, I don't know what else to say. I want the Penguins. I still do want the Penguins to go all in next year, and you better utilize this cap space now. If Zucker's going, trade him now. I don't know. I'm sure I'll have more ideas as, days go by and I can process this McCann and Tanev news. But right now, it's looking like the Penguins are going to sign like Zach Hyman to a $4 million contract, be right around the cap, and don't change anything with their goaltending. And if they do that, they're not going to do anything in the playoffs, in my opinion. So I'll have more videos on that in the next couple of weeks. Especially with the draft, trades can still happen. I'm recording this the night after the expansion draft. But my gut reaction right now is that the Penguins lost two really good wingers, and I understand it frees up cap space, but I would rather have McCann and Tanev back on this team. I really would. So that'll do it for this one. Like, comment, subscribe. Thank you all for watching, and thank you all for 350 subs. It really means a lot to me, even though we're not in the midst of the season. A lot more is going to happen with Seattle, and I'll be here to give my thoughts on it as well. So I'll see you guys then.